Have you ever felt the frustration of a carefully laid plan falling apart? The job you didn't get, the relationship that shifted, the goal that seems forever out of reach. We all carry a mental blueprint of how life should go. And when reality paints a different picture, it can feel like a personal failure, or like the universe is against us. But what if this mismatch isn't a bug in the system? What if it's a fundamental feature of being human and perhaps a hidden guidance? Imagine someone who trained for years for a specific career, poured all their identity into it, only to be gently redirected by life into a field they never considered. At first, it felt like a devastating loss. But years later, they look back and see how that closed door forced them to grow in ways they never would have, leading them to work that fits their core strengths and brings them deep satisfaction. The better plan was invisible to them at the time. This tells us something crucial about growth. We don't develop our deepest strengths when everything goes smoothly. We develop them in the friction between what we wanted and what we got. Our resilience, our creativity, our patience, these aren't born in comfort. They are forged in the gentle, and sometimes not so gentle, redirections of life. It's as if life isn't just giving us what we want, but what we need to become whole. The rear-view mirror exercise. Let's pause and reflect. Think back on a major plan that didn't work out 3, 5, or 10 years ago. It might have felt devastating then. Now, with the clarity of time, ask yourself gently, did that event lead me to a person, a skill, or a place I wouldn't have found otherwise? What strength did I have to develop because of that detour? Where am I now? Is it, in some broader, perhaps unexpected way, better? Not necessarily easier, but more aligned with who I truly am. You don't have to force a positive answer. Just observe. Often, the seeds of our current peace were planted in the soil of past disappointment. How to navigate the unexpected. So, how do we live with this reality? Not in frustration, but in peace. Here is a simple 3-part practice. Step 1. The pause and reframe method. The why check. When a plan shatters, our first instinct is to panic or push harder. Instead, pause, breathe, ask, is my frustration because my core well-being is threatened, or just because my specific expectation wasn't met? Often, it's the latter. Reframe the question from why is this happening to me to what is this situation asking from me? What can I learn here? This tiny shift moves you from victim to active learner. Step 2. The evening reflection, finding the hidden gift. At the end of each day, take 2 minutes. Don't just review your to-do list. Ask, what was one thing today that didn't go my way? Can I spot one tiny gift or lesson hidden within it? Maybe a delayed train gave you a moment of quiet. Maybe a rejected idea forced you to find a better one. This trains your mind to see redirection not as punishment, but as a form of navigation. Step 3. Principled action, flexible trust. Give your absolute best to your plans. Work with integrity and passion, but then hold the outcome lightly. Trust that the results are being woven into a larger tapestry you can't fully see. Your job is the quality of your effort. The final design belongs to a wisdom greater than your own. This balance between sincere effort and deep trust is the key to releasing anxiety. Our lives are not straight lines drawn by our limited hands. They are more like rivers winding, meeting obstacles, carving canyons of character, and ultimately finding their way to a wider sea. The peace you seek doesn't come from controlling every bend in the river. It comes from learning to flow with trust, to navigate the currents with courage, and to appreciate the ever-changing view. So ask yourself, what if the very thing that didn't go your way is secretly guiding you home to yourself? Let me tell you a story about Alex. From the age of 7, when his small hands first fumbled over the piano keys in his grandmother's dusty living room, Alex knew his purpose. Music wasn't just a hobby. It was his language, his identity. The dream was crystalline and singular. To become a concert pianist, to feel the hush of a grand hall, to translate emotion through Chopin and Rachmaninoff under the glow of a single spotlight. For 20 years, his life was a metronome of discipline. While friends went to parties, Alex practiced scales. Summers were spent at intensive conservatory programs, his fingertips hardening, then callousing, then sometimes bleeding. He sacrificed casual friendships, lazy weekends, the normalcy of teenage years, and young adulthood on the altar of this one perfect goal. His entire sense of worth was wrapped up in the next audition, the next competition. When I make it, he would tell himself, it will all have been worth it. The making it moment arrived at 28. He earned a coveted spot in an international competition, the kind that launched careers. For 3 months, he lived and breathed one 24-minute concerto. He could play it in his sleep. The day of the semi-final, he felt a strange, floating confidence. This was it, the culmination of a lifetime of work. He walked onto the stage, bowed to the silent judges, and sat at the majestic Steinway. As he placed his hands on the keys for the powerful opening chords, a searing electric pain shot through his right wrist and forearm. It was so sudden and intense, it stole his breath. He stumbled through the first page, his fingers, those obedient, trained instruments, now trembling and weak, betraying him. The notes blurred. He missed a passage. The music, usually an extension of his soul, became a foreign, hostile terrain. He finished the piece in a haze of agony and humiliation. The diagnosis was a severe repetitive strain injury compounded by chronic tendinitis. Rest for 6 months, the specialist said. And even then, a career requiring 4 to 6 hours of daily practice may no longer be advisable. The words weren't just a medical opinion. They were a death sentence for his dream. The door he had spent his life pushing against didn't just close. It slammed shut, severing the very hands from his identity. The following year was a silent, gray fog. The piano in his apartment sat closed, a monument to failure. He felt unmoored, empty. He had been Alex the pianist. Now, who was he? He took a numb, administrative job at the very music school he'd once dreamed of teaching at, a constant, aching reminder of what he'd lost. He'd see students hurrying to practice rooms, their eyes bright with the same dream he once had, and a pang of grief, mixed with a bitter thread of envy, would twist in his gut. One afternoon, his supervisor, aware of his background, asked a small favor. "We have a community outreach program at the Children's Hospital. The volunteer pianist is sick. Could you just fill in for an hour? You don't have to play anything complicated." Reluctantly, Alex went. He sat at an old, slightly out-of-tune upright piano in a sun-drenched common room. A few children were there, some in wheelchairs, others with 4 poles beside them. He played simple, familiar tunes, movie themes, gentle folk songs. He wasn't thinking about technique or expression. He was just filling the silence. Then he noticed a young boy, maybe 9 years old, lying on a nearby couch, eyes closed, face pinched tight. He'd been told the boy was in constant, severe pain. Almost unconsciously, Alex began to improvise a soft, slow melody, weaving it around the rhythm of the boy's shallow breathing. He let his hands, free from the pressure of perfection, just respond. He played the sound of the quiet rain he saw in the window, the tentative hope of the afternoon light. After 10 minutes, a nurse tapped his shoulder, whispering, "Look." The boy's face had relaxed. His fists had unclenched. He was asleep, a peaceful, deep sleep his mother said he hadn't had in days. In that moment, something in Alex's own clenched heart broke open. It wasn't applause in a grand hall. It was a profound, silent connection more powerful than any standing ovation. That day was the first gentle turn in a new, unpaved path. Alex began volunteering regularly. He learned about music therapy. He saw how simple rhythms could help a stroke patient reconnect with movement, how a familiar song could bring an Alzheimer's patient back to a moment of clarity, how creating a silly song with a terminally ill child could spark a genuine laugh in a room filled with fear. He went back to school, not for performance, but for music therapy. His own experience with loss and physical limitation became his greatest asset. It gave him a deep, genuine empathy. He now understood that music wasn't about proving yourself on a stage. It was about communication, healing, and connection. 10 years after that disastrous competition, Alex sits in a bright studio. His hands, which once ached to conquer concertos, now gently guide the hand of a nonverbal autistic teenager to tap a drum, helping him find a voice. The satisfaction he feels is not the fleeting thrill of applause, but a deep, steady warmth, the knowledge that he is using his gift to alleviate real suffering. He looks back at his younger self, that heartbroken young man standing before the closed door of his dream, and he thinks with a tenderness that has replaced all bitterness. You were so sad because you thought the music was gone. You didn't understand. The music wasn't trapped in that concert hall. It was waiting for you here, in this quieter, more human room. It was waiting to become a different kind of gift, not for your glory, but for someone else's peace. The perfect plan, the straight line to the stage, would have given him fame, perhaps. But the detour, through the valley of loss and disorientation, led him to purpose. It led him to a version of himself that was more compassionate, more resilient, and more truly useful than the brilliant but solitary performer he once aimed to be. The better plan was invisible to him at the time. It wasn't written in sheet music. It was written in the silent language of a sleeping child's face. And it took a broken dream to teach him how to read it.